Had a fun little getaway with the girls this weekend, and it was my job to come up with a Fall Fiesta craft for everyone. And this is what I came up with. So if you'd like to find out how I made these cute little pumpkins, stick around. It's a really easy project, and all you need are a few little simple supplies that you probably have in your home now. And that would be some bits and baubles to decorate. You need a used toilet paper roll. Make sure that you have all of the toilet paper off. Grab some neutral colored paints. You're going to want to cut up some book pages or some sort of scrap paper into little 1-inch strips. You want some hot glue sticks, score tape, and some sort of, Elmer's glue PVA, something like that. Okay, let's get started. Okay, first thing you want to do is make sure that there is no toilet paper left on the toilet paper roll. Can't have a dirty toilet paper roll. So get your paintbrush, and we'll get going with this. So I'm just going to put a little bit of paint in here. I don't need probably much. And then I just want to get a good coat of paint on this toilet paper roll. It doesn't have to be perfect. This is going to be on the inside, so you won't really see it, but we want it to go away. That's our goal. Make it go away. Okay, then we're going to set this aside to dry. All right, the next thing I want to do is just get a scrap piece of paper, and I'm going to cut a circle-ish base. Doesn't have to be perfect. Nobody's going to see it. This will be on the bottom. Of course, I'm still a perfectionist, so I have to try. Okay. And then we're going to take our strips of paper, and we will begin to glue these on. So grab your glue and put some around the outer edge. Then take a strip of paper, and we're going to just do these exactly opposite of each other. Same thing this direction. And keep going around this circle in this fashion, placing pieces of paper. And initially we're going to try to keep this somewhat centered. I don't know that it's a big deal, but this is how I do it. And then you're going to add another layer of glue. And we're going to continue doing this, laying these in between those two, in between those two, in between those two. And it doesn't have to be perfect. What we're just trying to do here is fill in the open space so that when we start to bring these up, you won't have the voids, and this will be a complete pumpkin shape. You'll see. And then I'm going to do this again, add a little bit of glue, and continue centering those in between these spaces. If you need to add more glue, do it. It's better to glue now than have to go back in later and try and fix it. So I'm one of those that always says less is more when it comes to glue. You don't want to overdo it because it won't ever dry. We want it to dry. So just your main focus is making sure that they are centered between the pieces. Okay? That's our focus right now. Getting them filling in those little voids. So when you get done, you will have something look similar to this. Okay, and this has become a little bit sturdier. I'm going to pick it up because we have all of our pieces attached to this. So you might want to let that dry for just a minute and then we'll start putting it together. Okay, so we're going to go back and get our painted toilet paper roll. All right, and then I'm going to take some score tape and put it around the end of this toilet paper roll. And then you're going to take a pair of scissors and just cut little quarter inch all around and try to make them the same length. Okay, so now you have all these pieces that are cut. And then I'm going to just start peeling off this sticky tape. Fold these down on each other. You'll find that it would be helpful before you peel all those off to fold all of these down and kind of get that crease before you start taking off all of the tape. Just makes it a little bit easier. So once you get this all done, you're going to need to press it all in to make sure that it's in. So I just am going to put mine down on a piece of scrapbook paper and then get a pencil or something and just push that all in so that you're sure everything is attached. And then just take your scissors and kind of cut around. This is, again, going to be covered up with the rest of our strips, so we're good. Okay, then let's get our strips of paper. So we are going to take this, and with the open end, we're going to glue that right down here in the center. Okay, I recommend hot glue. You don't need a whole lot, just a thin little bit because it's not that heavy. We just want it to adhere quickly. Okay, stick that down in the center. Now for the fun part. We're going to get just our regular quick grab glue. You don't need hot glue for this. But what we want to do is just put a little circle around the edge. And then we're going to start folding these pieces up and adhering them to the glue. And if you need more glue, put some more glue. You don't need a whole lot. Less is more. And then you just keep going around until you have all of these attached. When you start getting closer to the end, I find it's a little easier to put glue on the strip so that you're not pulling it too tight. You know, that might eventually give a little bit of air in between them. That actually will just give it more dimension. And now you're done. You've got your little pumpkin base. Now you're going to want to put a stem on. I've been using corks to do mine, and you can use a stick or whatever, but I find that this little cork is just a perfect way to do this. A little hot glue, and there you go. And now for the fun part. We're going to start decorating. I'd also like to share with you how I put together this little rose, this little paper rose. You can make this out of more book pages or scrapbook papers, anything you'd like. But you want to cut out a probably a little bit more of a circle. This is probably a little bit more precise than circle-ish, but I think it would also work with circle-ish. And what you want to focus on is just keep cutting around, but try to keep the same distance. So this is probably about 1.25 inches, but try to maintain that same distance all the way around. And I think that just makes the rose a little bit more symmetrical. And then once you get that all cut, you're going to try to get this as tight as you can. Start at the pointy tip, and then just start rolling this flower or this piece of paper up. Again, keep it as tight as you can, and then try to just follow the curvature. So the inside, or my left hand, it will be tighter there, and as you roll, it will get a little bit looser on the right hand side, but just try to keep it as tight as at all possible. It's a little bit challenging. Once you get it going though, it really is a little bit easier. You can kind of see how it's a little bit tighter on the left than it is on the right, but just keep going with it. Let it get a little looser. Keep that left hand side as tight as possible. And then once you get it all the way down to the little round end of it, you want to squeeze and keep it as tight as possible, and then let it go. And so it will begin to unspiral and just creates this cute little layered rosebud. So cute. This is really probably the first one I've made. So this is somewhat of an experiment, and then you just push that down, and once again, I'm about ready to burn my finger again. Don't want that to happen, but just press this in. Good idea. And press the center into that glue. Hot glue is most definitely the easiest and fastest way to get that to adhere. Isn't that just the cutest thing? Love it. You just pop that on there. Easy peasy. So the girls and I had so much fun putting these together this weekend. It was a great, fabulous, fun getting together with the girls and doing some bonding, and they were all so proud of their pumpkins, and I was proud of them too. So I hope if you decide to make one of these for yourself, you enjoy it as much as we did. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and we'll see you next time.